Hello, folks, and welcome. Many of us have rented a home. Many of us have rented multiple homes. But do you remember paying an application fee? Do you remember how much that application fee was? Do you know, sounds like I'm testing you here already and haven't even finished the presentation. Do you know that here in Virginia, there is a law that sets a limit on how much that application fee can be? Let's review that law. I am Ron Pieper. I am the principal broker for Veteran Realty located here in Virginia. Now, here's what that Virginia law says. It says the limit for application fees is $50 per applicant. That's it. The limit is $50. I'm ad-libbing that. They didn't write that part into the law. Plus actual expenses by landlords for third-party background checks, credit checks, and other background checks that they may perform. Now, I said actual expenses because that's what the law says. So an application fee actually can, with that language in the law, exceed $50, but whatever amount is over that $50 can only be based on actual expenses that a landlord or their property managers or agents incur. So, in other words, application fees are not a profit center for our businesses. They only cover actual expenses, right? So, with that said, if you see an application fee that's over $50, say you see something at $100, I actually see that out there occasionally with rentals, I suggest that you ask the landlord, or again, more likely, the person you talk to or talk with will be the property manager or the listing agent for that landlord. These are the folks who are processing the application. Why that fee is more than $50. Okay, an application fee exceeding $50 may be legit, and we just talked about how that can be, right, with actual expenses incurred by the landlord. Yet, occasionally I witness situations where people who are processing applications don't know, or they misunderstand perhaps the law, and then charge more than $50, obviously inappropriately. Given there is a law that sets limits for application fees, it's fair for you to inquire about the reasons any application fee exceeds $50. $50 may not seem like much, but per applicant, when you're submitting multiple applications, that $50 can start adding up. And while you are eventually trying to get one of those applications, maybe many applications you're submitting, to be accepted for a lease. Notice that I've been referring to per applicant, $50 per applicant. Application fees only apply to, get it, applicants. They do not apply to other occupants who are not submitting applications. Now, so let's say you found a rental for yourself and your minor child, meaning somebody under 18 years old, right? Your minor child is not going to be an applicant. Your minor child will be listed on the application as an occupant, but not necessarily as a tenant who's submitting an application. So your minor child, not being an applicant, will not be liable for an application fee of any amount, okay? Just you as that applicant. Or when I'm referring to you, in my scenario, I was referring to one person, like a single parent, but a married couple, both of you would be applicants, and now you're looking at $100 because it's $50 per person, all right? Following the math so far? One more important note that I find many people don't know. I almost forgot to mention this one. That is, application fees do not pertain to pets. I'm trying to emphasize this because I see this out a lot where people tell me they were charged extra fees because they had pets. No, in Virginia, application fees do not pertain to pets because, it really seems simple here, but some people just miss the point. The pets are not going to be submitting an application, okay? Period. Makes sense. There can be some additional rent fees, though, I've seen some cases where maybe a tenant might be charged an extra $50, $100, something like that per month for every pet they have. But there are no application fees for pets. All right, thank you so much for listening. I wish you the best. Stay informed and be safe. Cheers.